It is happening. Welcome to the 2020 World Series of Poker main event. I'm Lon McEachern, along with Poker Pro, poker pundit Jamie Kerstetter. Jamie, this main event was never a sure thing to happen, but somehow, some way, the powers that be found a way to pull it off.
Yeah, I think the powers that be may have had big money riding on a 2020 live final table. But whatever the reason, I'm very excited to see how all this action unfolds. Absolutely.
One quick note before we move on. As many of you know, our broadcast partner, Norman Chad, contracted the coronavirus. Unfortunately, he was one of the long haulers. He's still feeling the effects of it. He's on the mend, but he couldn't be with us during these shows, and we wish him well and hope he's back to 100% very soon.
Yeah, I mean, Norm's one of my good friends now, and I feel for him, and I also feel for myself having to make all the ex-wife jokes.
Indeed. Well, this WSOP Wrap is a 4-episode arc on the GGPoker YouTube channel. We'll be bringing you the latest news and highlights from this $10,000 main event championship. As always, the WSOP main event is a single entry tournament, but this year it's a hybrid, online and live, being played both domestically and internationally. It is available to players from New Jersey and Nevada on WSOP.com. This U.S. flight will have a single day 1 and day 2 and play until they have 9 players remaining.
International players will do battle on the GGPoker platform for their flight with 3 starting days and a single day 2. They'll also play down to the final 9 spots.
The surviving 9 of each flight will then play live final tables. All things going well. U.S. players will come together at the Rio All-Suite Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas on Monday, December 28th, while the international crowd will do the same at King's Casino in the Czech Republic on Tuesday, December 15th.
The winner of each of those live final tables will then meet in a live heads-up finale at the Rio in Las Vegas on December 30th. The ultimate winner will receive an additional $1 million, main event bracelet, and the title of 2020 WSOP main event champ.
It is a lot to take in, but at least we do have a path to a 2020 world champion. That really is what is important. But Jamie, with the uncertain nature of this pandemic worldwide, it could all go to hell in a handbasket, and we'll end up playing this out in your backyard playing spacesuits.
Well, that would be fantastic because I got 12-1 from Mike McDonald on spacesuit poker.
I love it. All right, let's take a look at some highlights from the online action on day 1, and we're going to start out with a bang. You see Juco opens the action with pocket aces, and 2 players, Jamie, with pocket kings. This could get ugly.
Oh, this could be really gross. All these players are so deep, too, that if this does end up getting all in, we're going to have a 720 big blind pot, potentially.
And you just wonder who's going to close the action and move all in. Chris Rudolph with the second pair of kings from Berlin won a bracelet during the GGPoker online series in 2020. A big one, 25K online poker players championship. So back to Juco with the aces. Yeah, pump it up. Bostero 247 with the kings. He's got to be thinking something nefarious might be happening around him. But can you fold kings? You can't fold kings, right?
You're not feeling so great anymore about your hand. I think Chris Rudolph has a chance to see the writing on the wall here and possibly get away, but
he does not. He's got them both covered. The aces call. So 2 players at risk as Rudolph has the best, has the most chips right here. 2 hearts, 3 hearts now. Rudolph still with a chance on the river if it's a heart.
The brutal slow peel.
Oh, no, it's a green club in this 4-color deck. So Bostero 247 is gone. Rudolph cut down, and Juco takes that monster pot. All right, we move on. And Fedor Holz, a 2-time bracelet winner and also a GGPoker ambassador with ace tray. And he is in the big blind here.
Call.
Small blind with a bigger stack.
Call.
With the raise, Holtz calls with ace tray. He's got a draw.
Check.
Quas with 2 overs. Checks it over to Fedor. Fedor is Fedor, and in this situation, is he pretty wide open on what he could have here, Jamie?
Yeah, for sure. Fedor is going to be defending really, really wide, and this board is pretty good for a big blind defend.
The Quas with the tens.
Quas has to be pretty happy with this flop here, and I don't see him going anywhere.
Call.
Bet of 787.
Call.
And a call. And there is the 4 and a wheel for Fedor Holz. It's good to be Fedor.
It sure is, and it's great to retire from poker and then just bang out all these gut shots.
Right? I think he won more titles after he retired. He won the high roller for one drop in 08 for almost $5 million. He won a bracelet, his second one this summer. And so the tens of Quas are no good. He does see an overcard on the river, which might slow him down. There is the check.
But man, it is nice to be Fedor. Fedor just has the wheel here and just the best possible river card, a queen giving 2-2-2-2-9-9-9, what he would believe to be the best hand in almost every situation. Fedor also has so many tricks up his sleeve that it's going to be really hard for a set of queens to want to get away from this, even to this massive, almost, 3 times the size of a pot.
Big pot bet, and that's hoping to make it look suspicious.
And you know, Fedor is the type of player that's going to have 6-4, 6-7, 3-4 in his range and have lots of bluffs, so he ends up getting paid here with his wheel.
So he does win the pot with the ace tray as he turns the wheel, and Fedor Holz gets that much stronger. Here's what Fedor said about that hand.
Hey everyone, it's Fedor Holz, and these are my thoughts on the WSOP main event hand that I played. First, pre-flop, I find that pretty standard. Sometimes I raise, but here mostly I call. On the flop, it goes against a small c-bet and a caller with potentially 4 outs to the nuts. I overcall. On the turn, I make the nuts or almost the nuts, and it goes check, check, check. And now river is the interesting spot. So I decided to go for a 3 times overbet pot, given that I have some straights that my opponents don't have, and I want to be building a really big size bet here. I can go for a check raise as well, which I also like in this scenario on the queen on the river. But I felt like that I would get called a bit less often after check raising, and I didn't think that he would bluff as often as he should be. So that's why I chose the big bet sizing.
Now Holtz has 1,000 invested, another weak ace, this time suited.
Check.
And a set of 7s for Randy Lou exclamation point, not Randy Lou, the Nanunoko guy, by the way.
It's funny, that's how you know you've made it, when someone makes their screen name your name or your picture.
Exactly. Fedor has to be careful here. He did flop the ace. Ole Shimian, another great player, WPT TOC winner in 2019. Bet Fedor raises with his ace. Ole was just trying to win the pot right there with his bet. Now Randy Lou with the exclamation point with a set of 7s. Wondering, does he push the action right now?
I think so, with 3 players to the flop and a potential flush draw. Also on an ace-high board, when you have a set, it's just amazing. You get paid by so many hands that raising makes a lot of sense. You get a lot of value.
He does the raise, make the raise there. Now, Shimian is smart enough to know to get out of the way.
Smart enough and has 10 high enough.
Call.
Well, that too. So the 2 pair, aces up for Fedor, about to go down in flames if he doesn't get lucky on the river. Now, with the set of 7s, Lou has Fedor covered. What do you do here? Do you have to keep betting, right? You got your man on the hook.
You're just building a pot to make sure that you have a natural river shove where it's not going to be over pot, and he does just that. He bets slightly under half pot, enticing Fedor to get some more chips in this pot. If you're Fedor, though, you're starting to feel a little worse about your hand. And now you feel better for
Oh boy. So Holtz rivers the boat, but Lou with a better boat. Deuces full for Fedor. Sevens full for Randy. Lou!
All in.
Yeah, and there's no
All
getting
in.
away from this. Pre-flop,
And-
possibly a little wide for Fedor, but at post-flop, there's just nothing that he could really do.
That is just ugly. Fedor Holz playing the weak ace, and it bit him, and he is gone. No new bracelet for Fedor. All right, so bracelet winner Simon Lofberg with the pocket
Great.
jacks, and I'll send my condolences to him right away. Bracelet winner also from last year's GGPoker series from Sweden. And then Brian Mycon, once known as Mycon the Icon, now playing Macallan 18 here. And he raised it.
Big fan of Mike, and he's been in the poker streets forever. He used to have his own little site back in the day. Heavily into crypto, just a really funny Twitter follow too. But that is an odd 3-bet size, just a tiny little 3-bet size here at the Ace Queen. And Fatchinoff, which I might be butchering, maybe senses weakness and ends up making a 4-bet here with just the 7-6 suited.
Well, that is such a typical online hand, too. You get those suited connectors. But this is the main event. Come on, man. So
Yeah,
action folded back around to Lofberg.
Fold.
And he repops it. Mycon,
Call.
the pro that he is, quickly folds. And look at that. Oh, my gosh. All clubs plus a jack in there. So Lofberg's not dead yet.
But man, this hand is crazy. I don't know who Fatchinoff is, but I've just become a fan. This is a wild
Right? What timing? What timing?
Bet.
I mean, the action before it got to him with the 7-6, and for him to stay in the hand and then hit this against what he's up against.
I'm looking forward to the slow river peel. It's gonna be gross.
Yeah, right? What a perfect storm for Fatinoff. Oh, and now Lofberg hits the full boat on the turn.
Man,
Everything we just said about Fatinoff, you just forget, okay? He should have folded.
Check.
oh, it's brutal. I think with his hand, though, I would still be betting this. It's very unfortunate to be drawing dead here. What you want to do is bet to protect a hand like this so that a 4th club doesn't peel off and you have no idea where you're on the river. We obviously see here that he is totally screwed, but...
Oh, boy. I mean, I say it in Omaha, but even in Hold'em, you know, paired boards bring dark clouds, and that's exactly what has happened to Fatinoff here against Simon Lofberg. So almost 13,000
All
is
in.
a small bet, and of course
Call.
Lofberg shoves and gets a call from the flush drawing dead. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I like that decision to shove that turn too. On the turn, winning the maximum.
On to the next,
Fold,
Yvonne
fold,
Dera of France, plays by cordialement, which in English is the French word for cordial. So that's nice
Fold.
to have a cordial player at the table. 9-8 suited, 3,200 from cordialement. And I just love the personality that players can bring with screen names. Who doesn't love whey protein? It's good for everybody. You might not know what it is. It's the liquid on the yogurt after you take a chunk of yogurt out, okay?
And wow, this 3-bet is tiny. You expect, especially when there's an open and a flat, for this 3-bet to be way chunkier than this. So perhaps it's signaling the strength of Latko's hand a little bit.
Yeah, it's a V1 Latko, to be specific, a famous Russian esports commentator in this 3-way pot.
Just a straight flush? What?
Oh, can you believe that? Against Ace King. And
yeah, that is not very cordial of him.
No, not at all. But for him to be in this hand, again, sometimes you just find yourself the right time, the right moment. Now, V1 Latko with the ace of diamonds is going to bet on the come here. But again, everyone else drawing dead.
Yep, and that was weird. A very small 3-bet pre-flop from Latko, and then a very chunky flop bet committing himself to this pot, which he has 0%. But he can't know that. That's just ridiculous.
Whey protein goes down the drain. He folds. And so the e-commentator from Russia is all in after he thinks he improves his hand to a pair of aces with the ace of diamonds. And
Technically,
now,
his hand improved.
Call.
yeah, he did. Yeah. That is not ElkY, but it is a French player. Cordialement will cordially say my condolences to you as he improves again to ace king. And he is gone. All right. Big time pro and
All
World
in.
Series bracelet winner Neil Farrell likes
All in.
ace king like many, but up against the pocket nines of Sergio Aido. And the nines hit the 9 on the flop. Just a queen. We'll keep Neil Farrell in. Oh, and quad alert for Sergio Aido.
Yeah, and those two probably have a lot of history together. I think that nines might not get it in all the time in this spot, but they probably have played thousands of hands.
And that is a fact you have to take into play. I have to wonder how
Fold.
much these players know each other with different screen names they're going to get from different sites.
Raise.
Maybe they talk to each other offline. I don't know.
Call.
So, another GG
Call.
Poker Online bracelet winner, Gediminas Jusas of Lithuania, playing as
Fold.
Never Gamble with the Queens. Very
I'm
active
so
pot, yeah.
thrilled to have you in the booth to say all the names I will butcher.
2 aces on the flop against the queens,
Bet.
which usually happens, is more so
Fold.
likely if you have pocket kings, but only Ali Sib has the flush draw that could hurt the queens right now. That is
Call.
Alyssa Sibgatova of Russia, and there is the flush on the
Check.
turn against the full house of Gamble.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the sickest card in the deck.
The one card that Gamble could really get in trouble with, might have taken it easy without hitting the boat with that other diamond coming out there,
Check.
but now.
Yeah, and I expect the small blind here to be value betting their flush, thinking they're against a bunch of aces. You know, you can get value out of a lot of different hands that Never Gamble has, but just, man, he's running into it.
The second best flush the Ali Sib could have, but of course the boat on the board for Never
All in.
Gamble.
All in.
An all in and a call, and Alyssa Sibgatova knocked out. Oh, that hurts. At this table with pocket kings now is ElkY, poker legend, big time gaming star back when it was popular.
Fold.
Oh, it's popular again, isn't it, Jamie?
For
Those
sure. I
games.
mean, Twitch and Discord have done a lot for gaming, and I'm into it. And I didn't even play that many video games growing up.
So ElkY with the raise with kings, and he's up against the aces. ElkY using his own avatar. I love it.
All in.
Oh, wow. One time. He's calling for one time. Aces versus kings.
Oh,
The aces are at risk. Oh, and a king and an ace on the board, and the board pairs. Oh, this is ugly.
oh, it's
Oh,
gross
wow.
when people are using your own emotes against you.
Oh, boy. All right, so ElkY gives up almost all of his stack right there. And with king 10 in later position, mid position, he's likely just to
Fold.
shove it here.
Fold.
And he does.
Call.
ElkY with a king 10 against the pocket nines and 5-6. It was a cheap call for the other two.
Check.
Everybody bidding their farewell to ElkY.
I mean, this software is so amazing for needling. I don't know. I really miss this.
Oh.
I'm in Nevada. We don't even get to chat.
So ElkY in trouble. You see his outs, king or a 10. The river card will not do it, and we say goodbye to Bertrand Grospellier, a.k.a. ElkY. They love him everywhere. What a day. We had 674 entrants on the day one. 179 moved on to day two, and as expected, you have so many hands played out. Jamie, there's going to be some crazy action.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we saw some insane hands for them being so deep on day one. I'm really looking forward to day two.
So we take a look at some of the behind-the-scenes numbers, And the satellite entries were quite impressive, Jamie Kerstetter.
Oh, for sure. 364 out of 674 players qualified through a satellite. That's 54%. As a poker player, that is very exciting to me. It means the field's going to be softer. You're getting people who are getting in for very little money. And my first main event experience ever, I won a 10K seat. So I know what it feels like to have no business playing a 10K and finding a seat.
43% of the players that made the money, 80 made the money, were satellite qualifiers. And for the final table, we get through to day 2, 3 of the 9 final tablists came from satellites. Very impressive to, as you mentioned, get in on 10K on the cheap.
For sure. Probably the best story that I've read, one player qualified for 50 cents.
Oh, yeah.
Insane. And then we had 5 qualifiers for $5 and 16 qualifiers for $10. That has to be the experience of a lifetime to get in by micro stakes.
Isn't that great? And the lowest number somebody paid to make the money was a $10 qualifier. It was ML22322 and bought in for $10, finished in 48th place for $20,000. That is some terrific turnaround.
I mean, that is like buying Bitcoin in 2003 type of return on investment.
So, Jamie, are you cheap enough to enter a tournament for 10 cents?
That's a really good question. I think back in the day when I was starting, I would have played anything, any kind of satellite to get into a main. I'm cheap enough to play for $100 and take a long shot like that.
Okay, and why not? I mean, one of our guys in for $10 comes away with a lot of money. And as you might expect, the social networking atmosphere was quite a buzz when this main event was going. Let's take a look at some of the activity there. All right, we start with Daniel DeVoris going for a second bracelet. He's got the bracelet in the picture. That's really not his personality, is it, Jamie?
Not at all. I have never heard him be anything but humble. It's nice to see him have a little swagger here. He's won enough money to put out one brag post once.
Very good from Daniel. And a little something here from our 2013 main event winner, Ryan Reese, who I think he echoes the sentiments of a lot of people out there, Jamie.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, we want more poker. If you want to play more poker, play. If not, just complain on Twitter about it. That seems to be the way of the poker community.
You want to play, as you mentioned, or play or don't play. You don't have to talk about it all the time. We move on to a tweet from ElkY from before his knockout. Unfortunately, he has left the building, but he was quite excited to play this, Jamie.
Yeah, he says, can't remember the last time I registered a tournament 300 big blinds deep. I don't know if I've ever done that. Poker players tend to late reg and, take their time showing up to events, but it says a lot about the value he sees in this tournament that he's there from hand one.
ElkY, you could have used the 300 bigs a little better, though, for us, okay? And we move on to poker reporter Christian Zecha. And the thing he says about this is basically what we've been waiting for years from the new players, Jamie. Show some personality. They show more personality online than they do live, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, this is great. The software is really great. I was watching one of the highest stakes cash games, and people were just throwing stuff at each other. They're playing for hundreds of games.
And it's amazing how they really turn into I don't say this in a bad way, the kids they are. They can act their age online. When they are in the live arena, they really don't feel comfortable doing that, or they feel they have to be that hermit poker player, right?
For sure, and I hope this actually carries over to the felt, because you're going to have players who just needle each other all the time online, eventually facing each other live, and maybe it'll liven it up just a little bit.
Well, thanks for Christian for bringing this to our attention. So Kevin Martin now, and he is telling us things didn't go quite well as he's comparing his experience at the main event to this golfer whose golf ball off a tree and back to his feet. Perfect. I love it.
I mean, that's great, and it's how I feel when I have to re-enter a tournament. You do all this work, and then you just realize you're starting back to square one.
Good luck to Kevin. And there is the face of, I think, poker's greatest ambassador, Chris Moneymaker, as he was awarding a seat to Colin Capone for a very unusual contest here, Jamie.
Hey, Colin, good luck, brother. Heard you won 10K main event seat. Go get him tomorrow. Good luck.
Yeah, I love this. I think one of the best things that's happened to poker over the last few years is giving people an opportunity to show their personalities and enter these contests, create content themselves and post it. And apparently, from the things Colin was saying, he's entered a bunch of these contests, finally won this one for a 10K seat. So I think it goes without saying that it all paid off.
So he had to post hand, basically, showing his bluff, I guess getting through, making it successful, and trash talking while he did it. And that says poker in a nutshell. And Chris Moneymaker awarded him a 10K seat. So what a thrill. And congratulations to Colin Capone. So let's take a look at Colin's bluff that ended up being worth $10,000 to him.
All right, 9 deuce on the button. I think this is a good time for me to get into this. Look at this sandwich the wife just brought me. I'm so hungry. This is going to be good. So we're definitely going to not play this hand. Oh, look, another masterclass ad.
You can't be like all loosey-goosey having a sandwich, eating on your phone. Woohoo, baby, I love it.
Maybe we should just focus here and wait till the break. Can we? This guy's got a lot of chips. Maybe we can take it away in the spirit of Daniel. Let's go. Let's get a little Daniel hello for waking me up with his masterclass. Just me and you, he says. Let's go. You got no outs, he says.
Call.
9 deuce. What's going to happen? I'm going to have to bet.
Check.
3, 7, 10 flop.
Check.
I will be betting.
Bet.
I will be
Fold.
betting. I feel like he's going to call here. He might even be raising. But I think we got to go with it. Because Daniel woke me up and told me to hang on to the sandwich for the break.
Fold.
Oh, let's show the 9 deuce. Oh! Oh, yeah. Let's get a little Daniel. Let's get a little ha-ha from Daniel. Oh, we're going to need to snap cam this too. We are definitely going to need to get the snap cam going here. We sent it.
Fold.
There it is. There it is.
Call.
I had you at hello.
Check.
Great stuff from the social networks. Keep it coming. Maybe you'll see it here on our next broadcast. Who knows? You know, it was Thursday, July 16th, 2019, and that's when Germany's Hossein Ensan with pocket kings finished off Italian Dario Sammartino wearing a tuxedo, crowd favorite, but in the end it was Ensan who became the World Series of Poker main event champ. And unbeknownst to us, the longest serving main event champ probably since Johnny Chan when he went back-to-back in the 80s. Jamie, that night was a late night and a long string of late nights during the World Series. It seems so long ago, doesn't it?
It has to have been at least 10 years ago. I don't think you could convince me of it.
I agree. Well, our crack team caught up with Ensan recently to get an update on the still main event champ.
I'm Hossein Ensan. I'm Iranian-German poker player. I'm living right now in Germany. I started with poker Texas Hold'em since 2002. Mostly I play in Europe, in Germany and in Holland. 2010 I tried to play higher than before. 2014 I got third place in Barcelona. My second top prize was in Prague. In this tournament EPT main event I was champ. And my top prize was 2019 in Vegas. I got the first plat place in Las Vegas. I'm World Series of Poker champion. My first time in Vegas to play World Series of Poker, it was in 2015, I think. It was day 3. Through mistake, I lost all my chips. And after that, I didn't play in Vegas till 2019. 2019, it was my second time in Vegas. I go to Vegas 1 week before the main event. I play only 2 small tournaments, I think AAA and mini main, and to warm up, and then started day 1 the World Series of Poker main event. It was my second time in Vegas. I won this one. Online and live is different game. For live playing, I prepare body and mental. For body, I go to gym, and mental, I try to meditation, watching a lot video from myself and from World Series of Poker. I can say to win World Series of Poker, you have to take care always of your position. You have to take care always of the big pot, and pot control is very important in this game. It depends how big is your count. If you have more chips, you have to work always with your chips, unafraid, and try to get the best value from your hand. To be gentleman, to be respect your opponent, accept your lose. This is my tip. Try to play your best game. And what's happened is for sure luck is very important. Try to play your best game. Unafraid. Try to pressure your opponent. Take care of your position. You have to know this way, and you have to know you cannot win this tournament in one hand. You have to win all the chips slowly. As I won World Series of Poker, I can remember last hand against Dario Zammartino. Dario Zammartino flush draw plus gut shot straight. I had the best hand in heads up with kings for sure. So I go to my friends, to my fans from Germany, and my brother, my nephew, and all my friends. I saw on the stream and coming queen of clubs. This moment I cannot explain. It was a very great moment. I know that at the moment I am the top player on the world. This moment I cannot explain. It is the best moment, and coming from everywhere, fans, friends, and journalists to ask me about this moment. It was a very great moment. I cannot forget this moment. I enjoyed that till now.
So Jamie Ensan says he doesn't like to play online, so we won't be seeing him here. But next time we're live in Vegas, I'm sure we will see him. What stands out to you on this day 1 action?
A few hands in particular. One, a flop straight flush. I've been playing poker for a million years, but
nice.
It's still it's very exciting to see. A 720 big blind pot. That's insane. I don't know if I've ever seen that outside of a cash game. Obviously, kings, and aces will do that for the players. Those are 2 things that stood out to me the most. And then obviously just how many people have qualified through satellites. They're getting to play this massive event on small money, and I feel like that's amazing for the game.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I really picked up on is a guy named Damian Salas from Argentina. Might sound familiar to a lot of you. He made the World Series of Poker main event final table in 2017. He's not one of the young guns in the game. You know, he's been around, but the guy has learned to play online poker, and it'd be great to see a repeat guy at the main event final table, wouldn't it? It has been in the past.
Yeah, and hopefully it goes a little better than it went for Newhouse that time.
Exactly. And, you know, Damian Salas may be better known at the time for his deliberate play, shall we say? But he plays a little faster online. All right, Jamie, that's going to do it for us. This first episode of our WSOP Wrap. Keep an eye out for announcements on both mine and Jamie's social network, as well as GGPoker. We'll tell you when the next episode is going to drop. So for Jamie Kerstetter and our creative crew behind the scenes, I'm Lon McEachern. We thank all of you for joining us, and I thank the gardener for not turning on the leaf blower while we were recording this. And I'm happy to say, join us next time from the World Series of Poker main event.